I thought, well, we're doing some gardening. I'll tell you what I did years ago when I lost the job and I was really desperate for money. I needed a job like today. So the good thing back a few years ago, you didn't need an electronic resume. You could, most of the jobs you'd walk in off the street or go and talk to someone and you might get a job if you were lucky, if you showed your keenness. And sometimes even if you started work without them even knowing you'd started. Does that make sense? I'll tell you a story about me. I was desperate this time and I was walking through the city. I was knocking on factory doors, just asking if you had any work, and it's actually amazing what you can find. Well, you were allowed to do this back in the day, and you're not really allowed to do it nowadays. They've stopped a lot of this, but anyway, yeah, I saw the riverboats going up and down the Yarra, and I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind being a deckhand. You know, not a bad job on the river all day, talking to tourists, good looking women. So I saw this boat leaving. It was just tying off on the side. I raced down and the boat had actually left the Yarra. But anyway, in Melbourne, I jumped across, bang, hopped on the boat. The captain of the boat, oh my God, he was horrified trying to drive the boat, looking at me. What the hell is this guy doing? I walked up and sat next to him. And I said, sorry. I just need a job. I need a job. I've got to get a job. He actually laughed. Oh my God, you know. And yep, he gave me a job. I became a deckhand. And I had to learn the routes up and down the Yarra. There's different routes. They go to Flemington Racecourse, all sorts of things. They have events at night. And not only are you a deckhand, but you have to serve lunches, dinners, pour alcohol, all sorts of events. Sometimes you get celebrities come on board. Parties at night. You have to clean the boat, clean the toilets, make sure all the kettles are full of water and everything. You know, full on hard work. Get there very early in the morning, freezing cold. Wash down the boat, fill up the water, fill up the fuel, do everything. It was actually terrible. It was hard work. But good experience. And you learn to do the commentary on the way up and down the river, explaining the river, how the factories were built alongside Melbourne. Melbourne was established. You learn about all the bridges and where all the handrails along the bridges came from, all the old balustrades off some of the old ships. So they're actually off of the old ships, those balustrades. You learn a bit about the river, and you learn how it used to have a natural barrier that separated the salt from the fresh water. But after breweries and things like that pumped their chemicals back into the water, it destroyed the natural barrier. And there's a section along South Bank, you can see like a false bridge. It goes out and it like stops. That's where one of the natural barriers used to be. It's like a marking. I don't think a lot of people know that. And some of the old bridges that were hand riveted, bang, bang, you know, no welding, hand rivets. Anyway, and the fact that the Yarra River is actually Yarra Yarra, And in the Aboriginal language, that is fresh flowing water, yarra yarra. Well, it isn't that now because we broke the natural barrier, so the salt water came in. And a lot of why it looks brown and horrible sometimes is just sediment. But the natural spring that feeds that yarra comes from, they've tried to keep it quiet from people, it's actually all the way up in the hills, not that far from where I am. It starts off as a little spring, works its way down all the mountains and actually fills up the yarra. But anyway, enough of my waffling. That was one of the jobs when I was young, and I got the job, stayed there a couple of years. Yeah, moved on to bigger and better things. I'll tell you another story another time. Anyway, Robbo signing off.